So there's this show called American Guns on the Discovery Channel, and it's basically these people who custom make guns for people who walk in. Now, I know this is a show, and I know the Discovery Channel and the History Channel is about entertainment rather than history and science. Just look at the Mythbusters. But this episode really pissed me off. I don't normally watch TV, but I actually saw this episode being discussed on one of the traditional muzzleloading forums I belong to. It is probably the most inaccurate program I have ever seen in my entire life. What they're doing in this program is making what they call a hand cannon, which is actually a handgonne from the Middle Ages. It's one of the first guns produced for warfare. There had been experiments before that, but this is the first one that was widely used, and they attempted to make one. Now, the one they made was not historically accurate whatsoever. First of all, the caliber was too small, but that's minutia. It was not correctly made. They first of all just took a modern muzzleloader, chopped it down, and stuck it on a chunk of wood with bands. Not right, no. The guy said it was originally made from cast iron. No, it was made from forged iron, and I'm going to scroll a process here of how one was made. This has been made exactly how they would have made it back in the day, so just watch the pictures if you're interested. They said you can't buy a hand cannon that is safe to fire, and that they are the first people to make these in 600 years. Really? Because the people over at the Medieval Gunny Works Arsenal would be very interested to hear about that, because they've been making them for a long time. In fact, there is entire forums of people who shoot these and reenact that period in history. And actually, if you type handgonne, not hand cannon, but the correct name for them, gunny, spelled Gonne, which is the medieval name for a gun. If you type that into YouTube, you will get a number of videos. Probably, I think there's about 50 or 60 I've seen on there of people shooting these. Type it in Google, YouTube, whatever, you'll see them. But they're actually very common. This is not something that hasn't been produced in 600 years. What really set me back is they charged this guy $1,000 something to make this gun. If you go to Medieval Gunny Works right now, you can get a 50 bore, a 50 caliber handgunny, which is what they made, that is based off an original medieval one they call it the Loki, which is a 50 caliber bore as well, for $165, shipped out the door with a hardwood pole. I'll link, or I'll put a picture up of it now. $165. They charged this moron over $1,000 to make an not even close to historically correct gun. It's basically just a chopped down muzzleloader. I mean, this is what the Discovery Channel is putting out. They also said that it was extremely dangerous to fire this thing because they were using 50 grains of powder. I normally shoot 100 to 120 out of my 54 caliber Kentucky long rifle, or Pennsylvania long rifle, sorry. The optimal load for it is actually 92 grains. That's what's normally shot out of it. The barrel they used was from a modern gun. It is not dangerous to shoot 50 grains out of a muzzleloader. That's actually a light target load. So no, they were making a big deal out of nothing. They also said it was a crew-served weapon. No, not at all. None of the pictures we have showing handguns being used says that they're a crew-served weapon. I don't know where they got their information, but that's not accurate whatsoever. They didn't even do a Google search on this shit. They didn't even bother to type this crap into Google before they made this episode, which is just dumbfounding considering their entire forums dedicated to these things. It's just dumbfounding, the inaccuracy of a TV show. But if you look at the Mythbusters, they did episodes like they were trying to see whether a cannonball would injure people who were in ships during, the pirate days, the 1600s and all that. If a cannonball hit the side of a ship, would the wooden splinters hit people? Obviously, yes, but when they tested this, they used particle board. Yeah, a cannon's going to shoot a hole right through particle board. But when you're talking about like the old Ironsides, which weren't made of iron, they're called that because they were made of crossed hardwood oak, and they just cannonballs would bounce off. But on the other side, it would splinter the wood and damage, or hurt and kill sailors. So no, completely historically inaccurate. These people have no idea what they're doing. I've lost all faith in the History Channel. You watch anything on the History Channel and you can find where they are completely wrong, or they're even rewriting history in some cases. I've completely lost faith in it, and it's really not the American public's fault that they are so horribly uninformed about history, because this is the crap we feed them. But yeah, it's just a little thing that annoyed me. It's a stupid show. From what I've seen, I question whether these people are actors or actually know anything about guns, because I've seen nothing good come out of that show from the little bit I've seen. There you go. I'm going to link you in the bottom bar to places where you can buy these. Whole pages of just history of these things, information on bore size, the powder they used, original pieces, all stuff they could have found with a 10-minute Google search. There you go.